On this video we are going to be working inside the top bar position, and that will be the top bar division, well, with the ID top bar. But let me show you, we are going to actually work inside this area in here. If you remember, all this dark gray area will measure 42 pixels, and that will be the height, okay? And from this point to this point we are going to have a dimension 960 pixels. So let's go and let me show you what we are going to do. Clicking here, let's go back to the CMS teachings and open the index.php inside the Komodo edit. If you analyze this file, you are going to be able to see the top bar division, and inside that top bar you are going to have the left top menu module and the social menu module. So if you have 960 pixels width, and if you want to divide that into two, how much you are going to have? In that case, you are going to have 480 pixels for each side. In this case, what we are going to do, we are going to give a width 450 pixels to each module in here, so we can have a space between those modules. And let me go back and inside the CMS Gray. First of all, we are going to click in here and click enter. And one more time, let me backspace in here. We are going to write down first of all the CSS command, diagonal, then asterisk, and we are going to write down top bar styles, then space, asterisk, and diagonal. Let's click enter, and we are going to write down the hash symbol and top bar, the curly brackets, and the height. Remember, the height will be equal to 42 pixels, because in that way we are going to be covering the space that we create inside this image in here. If you remember, we create this background and this space will have 42 pixels. Let's go back in here, click enter, and the width, we are going to use a width 100%, and that will be covering the 960 pixels all the way from the left to the right. Then we are going to target the next division, and that will be the left top menu. Let's go back, click enter, and the hash symbol, left, top, and menu, the curly brackets, and we are going to give a width. Remember, we are going to use the 450 pixels, semicolon, and now we are going to go down and write down the next division. For right now, we are not going to apply any height because we are going to test if this layout can work in this case without the height. Let me go back to the index and then social in here. That will be social, and the curly brackets and the same width will be 450 pixels, semicolon, Control S, and what will happen in here? Let me show you what I am going to do. You know what? Let me write down the height anyway. We are going to use a height 36 pixels. We are just going to copy, Control C, and Control V. We are going to apply a background color because we want to see the layout that we are going to be building. Let's use the yellow, and we are going to write down yellow, semicolon, and then a CSS comment that will say eliminate, because in that way we are going to remember that we will need to eliminate this code. Let's copy that one and click enter, Control V, and change this one to green. There you are. Then all the way to the bottom we are going to eliminate the color inside the top bar. Right now we are going to comment out that CSS rule. We are going to wrap the rule inside a comment, so in that way the color will be eliminated. Let's click Control S, and before going back, let me write down in here because I forgot, we are going to float this social division, okay, to the right. let's write down float, and we are going to write down right, semicolon, Control S, and now we are going to right click and upload. Click OK, and going back in here and see what will happen. Right now you are going to be able to see the left top menu and the social. What will happen is that the left top menu will get 450 pixels inside the width, and the same will happen with the social module. And then after that, the social module will be floating to the right. Let me click refresh. Now if you notice, the left top menu module will be 450 pixels wide, and then you are going to have 36 pixels height, and on the right you are going to be able to see the social module. But if you notice, the social module will be floating to the right, but you are going to have this space in the top. How you can eliminate that? You can go back to the CSS, and then inside the social you can write down margin and then top. Then you are going to write down a negative value, because in that way you are going to be moving that element to the top. Let me write down probably 30 pixels and see how that will work. Control S, going back, right click and upload. Click OK. Then we are going to refresh, and if you notice, the module will start moving to the top. Let me click print screen on my keyboard. With the print screen, what you are going to be able to do is copy the screen, and then you can go back to the Adobe Fireworks and click File and New. In this case, when I open the new document, the dimensions are going to be similar to my print screen dimensions, and this will be 1280 times 800. Click OK. Then click on Zoom Tool, right click and fit all, Control V. We are going to zoom in here, so I can use the rectangle tool and measure exactly how many pixels I have right here on the top. And you can notice I am going to have down here 6 pixels. So if I go back and write down 6 pixels, Control S, going back and upload. Click OK to replace, and going back, refresh, and now as you can see we are going to have the same dimensions. Let me click print screen again so I can be sure that I have the same dimensions. Fit all and Control V so I can paste the new print screen image. And we are going to zoom in. Then I am just going to draw a rectangle down here, and yes, as you can see, the image are going to be on the same line height. You can see there the same line height, they are touching at the same level. So what I am going to do, I am just going to go back, and then I am going to move this text down below so it can be centered inside the height. Let me show you what exactly I am going to do. Going back, and first of all I am going to start inside the left top menu. I am going to add a padding. Let's write down there padding, and we are going to write down top, and inside there we are going to write down 6 pixels, semicolon, Control S, and we are going to upload again. Click OK. Going back, refresh. Did you notice? Now we are going to start getting more padding while the text will start moving down. But if you notice, the space below the text will start increasing. We are going to fix that in a minute. Let me go back. If we increase padding 6 pixels in here, we are going to decrease 6 pixels on the height. Let's eliminate those 6 pixels in there. Control S, and we are going to probably add 2 more pixels, 8, and then down here minus 2, which will be 28. Control S, going back, right click and upload. Click OK, and going back again, refresh. There you are. We are going to do the same inside the social module. So let's go back, and we are just going to change the settings 36 and 28, and then we are going to copy the padding right here, Control C, and Control V. Then we are going to click Control S and right click and upload. Click OK and analyze one more time. Click refresh and now the text will be centered. Now if you actually see this black space below, okay, we are going to eliminate that space. Well, we are going to even that space below and above these divisions. Let me print a screen on my keyboard and going back, and then we are going to click on the zoom tool, right click, fit all, and Control V so I can paste the new print screen image. Then I am just going to zoom in, and with my rectangle tool I am just going to figure it out the right dimension in here. As you can see, it will be 6 pixels. So what I am going to do, I am going to move all these two modules 3 pixels to the bottom. Let me go back in here, and inside the left top menu I am just going to click enter, and margin top we are going to apply margin top and 3 pixels. Semicolon, Control S, going back, right click and upload. Click OK and going back in here and refresh. Did you notice that? Now you are going to have 3 pixels at the top and 3 pixels at the bottom. Or at least we are going to be centering the modules inside the top bar division, which will be all these, of course. All these will be the top bar division right here. And as you can see, my friends, you will need to play around when you start using the CSS styles inside your own Joomla templates. Right now I am just going to eliminate the background, and for this video that will be it, my friends. Eliminate the background in here, inside the left top menu and inside the social. Backspace, Control S, and we are going to upload again. Click OK and we are going to refresh. There you are. For right now we have finished, and let's move on.